Alrighty, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing Mezco's iteration of the Batman. Now, of course, this is based off of the movie that was released a couple years ago, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson. So this is the version of his character here. And there's a lot to say about this figure. I think, of course, the movie was great. Super long, fell asleep 3 different times trying to watch it, but nonetheless a great movie. But this figure itself, a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about it. And in my opinion, I think it's a masterpiece. And the reason I say that is because there's so much detail and a lot of accessories that come with it, and it's just an overall solid figure. There are, of course, some modifications that you can make to it. None that I probably will, just because I don't trust myself when it comes to tearing up these expensive figures. This one was about $130 after everything was said and done, with shipping and all that good stuff. And of course, we did get it from the best. And yeah, it took about 3 weeks after they said they were going to be processing the orders for him. But I was very stoked to get it in either way. So as you can see, the box here, pretty straightforward, standard Mezco stuff here. So we're going to go ahead and get it open and take a look at the figure. We'll take a look at the accessories and of course do some poses, articulation, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll discuss what we like about it, what could have been done better, and some things that are missing. Alrighty, so here he is out of the box. This is the packaging that he comes in. It's very well put together, which is one thing to note, because sometimes these accessories and things like that will be falling in different types of packaging, and they're just all over the place and you can lose them pretty easy. But this is really well put together by Mezco this time around. And of course, he does include the instruction manual for his accessories, how to put those on him there, and then also the product care guidelines, which they include in all of their figures. But yeah, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. We'll first just kind of take a look at how the packaging is when you get it out of the box, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the accessories themselves. And you can see here the hands and the gadgets come in their own separate packaging, which is really nice. So you can just store these somewhere outside the box, so you can just easily have access to them there. So we'll go over these here in a minute. Then of course we do have the figure himself, really well put together. And here's just a quick look at him before we go over that later. And then we do have the different head sculpts here. We have the maskless one, of course the ones with the actual mask on, and we'll go over those separately as well. Each one individually, the wrap to protect them from being scratched up or anything. Then we do have the cowl himself. So if you want to have him holding it or something like that with the maskless head, you can definitely do that. So there's that there. And then on the back end here, we do have a few other things, and we can open this up again here. It includes more gadgets as well as his wingsuit. And one thing I do want to kind of just go off on a tangent about is that the wingsuit, a lot of people have complaints about it in the movie, because they're like, well, he's Batman, he's supposed to use his cape to glide. But the whole premise of it is that the Batman in this movie has only been the Batman for 2 years, so he doesn't have everything down pat. He's just first getting used to everything, and you notice how inexperienced he is whenever he is using that wing glider. He ends up eating shit, and it's a pretty funny scene, but it's really cool to see him develop in that way. But here's that wingsuit. We'll go over that later and how to put that on. And of course, you do get your standard sandwich bag thing. I forget the fuck to call it, little storage bag. That does come with it there, and of course you can write here for his accessories, which is actually really convenient, so you can put your stuff in there. I don't usually use those, I just keep it in the box. Then we do have the stand with the base there. It's pretty cool looking, and then some more accessories here. So like I said, we'll go over the accessories here actually right now, and then yeah, we'll go from there. After that, we'll do the figure. Alright, so we've got Batman's accessories all laid out here today, and we're going to go ahead and start with the head sculpt. And we do have the maskless head, and this one looks really good for what it is. I don't think it's perfect, but it definitely does look like Robert Pattinson and looks really good sitting on the figure there. A great paint job by Mezco. There's like no really bleeding or anything like that. And then we have the what I call the pursed lips face, just because he's like looks like he's about to kiss somebody. or he's talking to somebody, I don't know. But you can see here on the cowl they do include good detail. You can see the stitching as well as the battle damage and wear and tear, you know, from kicking ass. And then the same thing here with the gritting teeth face. This one looks really good as well. Really enjoy the way that this one looks here. And then as well as the just the cowl itself. And I think they did capture the shape of the mask of the cowl really well. And you know, it does have the likeness of Robert Pattinson under the mask too. So then we have the all of the hands here, the different kinds of hands. He has way too many to pull out and look at, but he does have the trigger finger ones. He has the grapple gun hands, and I'll show you how those work later. He has the gripping hands here if you wanted to grip something, pause, and then he has the relaxed hands here. And then lastly, the batarang hands. So these are already sculpted in there. Makes it real nice and easy to pose with them there. And then also the taser hand there, which looks really cool. And then we have his gadgets. This is the extended grapple gun here. And like I said, I'll show you how these work. But really good detail on those. You can see they've got some like a gray dry brush over there. It makes it look like it's some actual metal. You know, some springs and whatnot, little spools for the you know, for the grapple gun itself. And then these are the closed versions, which also rest on his forearms there. And then lastly, I'm sorry, not lastly, the sticky bomb gun, which I don't think he ever uses in the movie, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And then we have the flares. Now these ones he uses when he's escorting the civilians out of the movie, towards the end of the movie. Out of the building, towards the end of the movie. And then the cuffs. Now these actually you can actually bend these out, so if you wanted to slap it on a villain, something you can definitely do there. Apologize about the hair. And then the second portion of his gadgets here, we do have the actual grapple hook, and this right here is a bendy wire that you can you know, pose and sculpt to. And then we have some of the, I guess, the capsules for him. Then we have some smoke bombs, which will probably never get pulled out of the box, because as soon as you drop one of these bad boys, you're never seeing it again. Then we have some of the adrenaline shots here. Those are really cool. They'd use those in the movie. And then some of the batarangs. Looks like there's 2 pairs here. And these are the ones, of course, that go across his chest. So that's really cool that they included those. So yeah. And then lastly, of course, the wingsuit here. Now this one's pretty sweet. I'm glad they included this. Like I said, I went on that tangent earlier about how he used this for the first time and ate shit, but it was a pretty funny scene, cool to see. And these zippers actually do work, and we'll put it on the Batman here shortly. But yeah, those are the accessories he comes with. He does come with a plethora of them. I think it's awesome that they included all of those there. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the figure here, and then we'll kind of go over posability, and then also do the poses themselves. Alrighty, so here is the Batman. Of course, like we mentioned before, Robert Pattinson's iteration of Batman. Now, like I said, I really enjoyed his character. I think he did a great job playing the character, and I really like how grounded the film was and how they made him seem more realistic. You know, than something kind of like Ben Affleck Batman, where it's kind of just a bit fantasy-like. But the detail and sculpt that they've done on this figure is incredible. Now, I didn't expect it to be this light gray like most people did, but it's definitely grown on me. It definitely looks really good. And he does have his just his neutral face here on the figure itself when you get him out of the box. So the detail is really good. You can see here there's some you know, some battle damage on his chest piece here, and then this part right here is actually a nice rubber material. You know, shoulder pads look great. The forearms here look really cool too, with the gauntlets, and these are a little bit bent. You can probably straighten them out, but I think they're meant to be bent because they act like straps to you know, hold down his gauntlets here. And then the fisted hands here for his gloves, those automatically come in here. And you see there is the my apologies, there's the hole where you can attach the grapple gun there. Now here obviously is a tool belt. This one looks really sick. Does include a couple of things here. Most of the stuff cannot be removed. Actually, in fact, all of it can't be removed. But it's really good detail on that there. It does include a holster for the sticky bomb gun, and then some holsters for the flares there. Also really good detail. On the back side here, you can see it has some stitching, kind of just, you know, some more detail, kind of what it looks like under the cape here. Just really nice. And then the same thing on the sides here. Knee pads, of course. And then the boots themselves look pretty cool. Also, you know, I don't remember there being this yellow detail on his boots in the movie, but I probably missed it. Been a while since I've seen it. And the boots themselves, some good good sculpting there. Looks really nice, nice wear and tear. And then some holes on the bottom for the base itself if you want to plug them up. And one major complaint that everybody has is that the posability on this figure, the articulation is very limited just because of how bulky he is. But I really don't find that to be the case. You know, if you really test the limits with this, you're not going to have any trouble with it being actually torn up. The fabric is so well put together and is so sturdy that you won't have the issue of, you know, anything is going to tear or it's going to, you know, wrinkle or anything like that. Because, I mean, the whole reason he can't really pose well anyways, you can't do comic book poses, because this is supposed to be a realistic Batman. He's meant to be grounded, you know. It's more of like a suit of armor. It's not like a, you know, it just makes more sense for him to be a little bit more sluggish. And that's kind of how his character fights in the movie. But here's the cape. Now, this one is probably my only complaint about the figure, is that it's very thin. And they only include wires on the outside here, and it would have been nice if they included some wires on the inner parts right here to pose it to allow more posability rather. But it does look good nonetheless. And I've seen a few different modifications that people have made. You can actually pull this chest piece off and then pull the cape off under it. And this cowl piece right here, this collar piece, can sit on top of the cape. Like I said, something I probably won't do. Maybe eventually down the road, whenever I feel that, you know, maybe it could look a little bit better. But as it is right now, I think it's really well made, and I love the way it looks. So overall, I really enjoyed just the look of the figure. He just looks extremely cool, man. I mean, just looks like Robert Pattinson Batman. Has an excellent shelf presence whenever you have him, you know, posed up on there. But yeah, we'll go over articulation. Let's go ahead and do that now. So of course you're on a ball peg here, so this can move 360 and can look up pretty high. The cowl piece right here on the back does kind of limit how much you can look back, and then he can look down pretty far. He does have head tilt, and then this is how his arms can go up pretty far. I mean, if you move these shoulder pieces out of the way here, he can go pretty high. I don't know if you'll ever be doing that, but maybe. But it doesn't look that bad, and of course you can just move them right back whenever you want. So double jointed elbow here. There is a little bit of bicep swivel. Actually, it looks like there is, but a little bit of forearm swivel there. And then the hands do sit on a ball peg, so you know those can get some pretty good range of motion there. And one thing people had a big complaint about was that he can't bend, or it doesn't have any crunch in the chest. Definitely looks like he does. Looks a little bit silly, but he definitely can pose that much forward, and then this much back. So, and then there is a little bit of waist swivel here. Just got to be careful because it is sewn together right here at the waist. So just be careful and mindful of that. His thigh mobility can go a little high, not too much, really, probably about midway. It can go this much back, and people were still complaining about this, but realistically, nobody can kick their leg that far back, you know, like if you're wearing this big sluggish suit. And then we have the double jointed knee, which goes back really far. Looks nice. We do have a little bit of boot swivel here, and then of course we have the ankle pivot, It's a little limited when it comes to going side to side, but you definitely can move that there. Overall, I think the posability is really nice. I mean, you can come up with some pretty cool stuff, you know, if you're able to and willing to push your figure to the limits. I think it's really nice. And one thing they maybe could have done better was if they included some toe articulation, but Mezco rarely does that anyways. But yeah, we'll go ahead and you know, do some size comparisons with them here. Overall, just in general, this is a great figure altogether. I think they really knocked this out of the park. It's definitely one of my favorite of the year so far. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll go ahead and you know, we'll go ahead and give our final thoughts afterwards. Also did forget that I wanted to show off the grappling hooks here, the grapple guns. You can see here they do tuck in the little peg here, and it looks pretty cool. Those will probably keep on there at all times. And then if you wanted to do the extended one here, I have to make sure I grab the white one. No, this one's not it. If you wanted to do the extended ones, where it's actually sitting in his hand, just go ahead and tuck this one right here in this little peg hole, and then yeah, then you just fit it right in his hands there. Sometimes it is a little bit of a hassle to put in there, but if you work with it a little bit, it'll look really nice. So let me go ahead and put that in there, and boom, there we go. So then you can put the little tip here, and then use the this grapple here, and plug that in there, and you can use your imagination and just pose it how you want to see. Just show them, you know, using the grapple hook there, but it's the same thing on both sides, and pretty cool. So just want to show that really quick. So we'll show the wing glider after this, and then alrighty, really quick, I did want to show you the wingsuit, how to put that on and what it looks like there. So to start, you go ahead and make sure you got the legs tucked in at the bottom here, and then you're just going to want to slide his arms into the slots here, and tuck the cape in as well. So we'll go ahead and do this really quick. Alright, so there we go. There's Batman wearing the wingsuit there, and it does look a little bit like he's wearing a trash bag, but he does look pretty cool. This is exactly how it looked in the movie, and you can try to get his head in a position where he's, like, you know, looking down and flying, but it's a bit difficult. I don't plan on posing him in this thing, you know, just because it's kind of a hassle to get on and off, and you can only keep him in that pose for so long before it starts to look a little boring. But it is pretty cool that they included it. You know, it was part of the movie. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do the size comparisons, and then we'll do some final thoughts. Alrighty, so to start with size comparisons here, we're going to start off with a couple of Mezcos. We're going to do 2099 Spider-Man. They stand about the same height, you know, being that they're from the same you know, line. They usually are going to be 112, all the same height. Then we've got a Mezco Blade here. Yeah, just about the same height. And then we have a couple of DC figures here. We'll start off with Amazing Yamaguchi Arkham Knight. And I think these two look really good together. They're pretty much the same height there, so definitely gonna do some poses with them. And then we have, of course, his comic counterpart, the Mafex Hush Batman, which I think they look really cool together too. I think Mafex might be a little bit taller, not too sure. And then we have Amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man. This is version 2.0. A little bit short. Spider-Man might be a little bit shorter. Yeah, it looks like it. A little bit shorter than Batman there. And that's pretty much it. I think, I guess, actually, we'll go ahead and compare my most recent figure for size comparison. He probably towers over him. We have King of Fighters, Storm Collectibles, Terry. Definitely much taller than him. So, yeah, absolutely. So that's the size comparisons there. Just some final thoughts about the figure. Like I said, I think it's a masterpiece. I think all the complaining and stuff is, I don't know if what they expected, honestly. I think Mezco did it really well. A really good job. They definitely delivered. There's a couple of minor things that could have been done better. Maybe make the paint job of gray a bit darker, and maybe remove these yellow lines, and maybe make the neck, maybe make it a little bit taller on the body. But I still think that it looks really good. I don't think it looks out of proportion or anything. I think it fits really well with the figure. So yeah, that's my review of the Batman, Mezco's iteration of the Batman. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you'd, like I said, if there's any suggestions you might have for me, please leave them in the comments. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by and giving it a watch, and have a great rest of your day and stay blessed.